Cooking is an art, but the art is in you. Hi guys, I'm Afraz and I'm here cooking some traditional dishes with a classy twist just for you. And today on the list is Mutton to Pyaza Quiche. So let's start. I'm going to add refined flour. And to this, we need to add chilled butter. Chop it up in small pieces. Shortcuts is basically a very flaky pastry with lot of butter in it. That's it, and this directly goes into the flour. And now you need to rub this with your fingers. Baking is quite therapeutic. It relieves all your stress. As you see, we have achieved the breadcrumb-like texture. I'm just going to add the egg yolk, and with that I'm going to add little salt. And now I'm going to mix this. To bring this together, I'm going to add some chilled milk. And you don't have to knead this as we are not making any bread. So just combine this with very light hands. So now the dough is ready. I'm going to cover it with a clean flame and just flatten it so that the butter hardens. And now I'm going to keep this in the refrigerator to rest for around 10 to 15 minutes. But I've already done one batch before. So let's make the base for our quiche. So I'm going to take a quiche mold and now I'm going to cut the pastry into half. And now I'm just going to press it to make the base. So after flattening this, I'm going to use a rolling pin and just level it out. So now to leveling it, I'm going to trim the edges. So let's take a parchment paper. I'm going to cut this into a small piece. And then I'm going to place it right in the center. And with this, I'm going to add some beans so that it doesn't puff and retains its shape. So now this is ready, but I'm going to keep this in the refrigerator for around 10 to 15 minutes and then bake it at 180 for around 10 to 12 minutes. Onion is the very essential ingredient of the kitchen. It gives a lot of flavor to the dish. And when cooked for a longer time, it caramelizes as it has sugar in it. And it is used in most of the Indian curries. The reason behind why it is called Mutton to Pyaza is because the onions are used twice in the recipe. So the roughly chopped onion, I'm going to grind it into a fine paste. So this is done. Next, I'm going to heat up a pan, add some oil. Let's add in the ground onion. Saute this nicely until it turns golden brown. At this stage, I'm going to add some ginger garlic paste. Saute this well. Some red chilli powder, turmeric, coriander powder. And then I'm going to add a little water. I'm going to cook the masala on low heat. In the meantime, let's cut some more vegetable. So now again we are going to use the onion. So I'm going to cut them into small dices. And now I'm going to separate the layers like this. This will give a cool dimension to the dish. I can smell the masala is cooked. And at this stage, I'm going to add yogurt. So always when you add curd, lower the flame and then saute it, otherwise it will curdle. So the onions are cut. Also, to give a nice color, I'm going to add some capsicum. Usually it is not added, but for my twist I'm adding it. So in a similar manner, like I have cut the onion. So this is also done. So we have cut the onion, we have cut the capsicum, but where is the mutton? The mutton is missing in the Mutton to Pyaza. It's in the refrigerator, which I've already boiled. So this makes your work easy. So next in goes the mutton. So now the mutton is nicely combined with the flavors. I'm going to add the onion and capsicum at the very last stage as I want the crunch to be there inside. Let's add in some salt. Also, our crust is getting baked in the oven. Usually quiche are eaten in snacks, but for me it can be a sumptuous dinner also, as we Indian can eat anything any time of the day. So now the crust is done. So now I'm going to take out the beans. So this is done. I've kept the gravy thick because we are using as a filling. Finally, we are going to add the remaining onion and the capsicum. Give this a nice toss. Let the onion get the flavor of the spices, and we are going to add a few mint leaves. Finally, some garam masala. That's it. Give it a last mix. This smells amazing. So our mutton do pyaza is ready. I'm going to shut the gas. I'm not cooking the onion and capsicum much because it will get cooked in the oven too. So now let's fill it in. I'm making this of my portion size, but if you want you can make a giant one. So this is done. I'm going to keep it aside, and now is the time to make the custard. So for the custard, I'm going to add 2 eggs. With this, I'm going to add some cream, some milk, salt, crushed black pepper. That's it. Now I'm going to whisk all this together nicely. This custard is going to bring the tart and the mixture together. Done. Let's again come back to our quiche. And finally is the time where I'm going to pour this custard over it. So now the final stage, to keep this back into the oven and bake it for around 5 to 10 minutes. Now this is a unique recipe which I came across when I found mutton and short crust dough in my refrigerator, which I got it out and made this into a stunning recipe of mutton do pyaza quiche. So this has perfectly cooked. So now the quiche is ready, it's time to plate. So let's get started. I'm going to use some mint chutney, on which I'm going to arrange some cherry tomatoes, some radish, some microgreens. Next, I'm going to keep a fork. Just lift the fork. So now let's keep the plate here. And now I'm going to keep a cup upside down so that it is easy to demold the quiche. There you see a lovely color of the crust. And now is the time to cut the lovely quiche. So let's taste the delicious dish. Still the onion is crunchy and I can get a bite of it. The combination of mutton do pyaza and the short crust dough is really amazing. So this was my classy twist to this mutton do pyaza and quiche, and this also worked. So do try it, and don't forget to subscribe to Sanjeev Kapoor Khazana. Hit likes and comment.
For more such delicious recipes, stay tuned to Sanjeev Kapoor Khazana.